Hey everyone, today I'm going to be in the kitchen, so I thought I'd take you along with me. I have a lot of projects that I need to get done, but I'm not planning on getting them all done today. It would be great if I do, but it's just, we'll see what happens. But we have a family reunion coming up, and so we are trying to prep things ahead of time. We're going to be making all the food ourselves. We might have like a chef coming in one of the days, but other than that, we are doing all the food. So we're just trying to prep some things, put them in the freezer, and then pull them out just so it's easier when the time comes. And so one of the things I am doing is going to be making some muffins just to, for people to have for breakfast or things like that. And this is like a camp out family reunion for a few days. And so again, we need some like convenience food so it's easier and we're not in the kitchen 24/7. So I am going to be making banana muffins. I've done this recipe so many times. These are the best ever banana crumb muffins. And I don't know where I got this recipe, probably Pinterest or something. I'm not going to be making the crumble that goes on top just because I don't know how well that is going to freeze. And then once you take it out, I don't want it to be mush. Again, I've never frozen them, so I'm not sure. And also, I've never made them like a mini version. So I borrowed this little mini cupcake or whatever tin from my sister pan, and I'm going to try to make mini ones. So I currently have out 2, 4, 6 batches. I had plenty of frozen bananas, which I'm really excited to use those up to give me more freezer space. Just really ripe bananas that I would just throw them in the freezer to use whenever I need them. And this is the perfect opportunity. So I'm going to try to make those. Hopefully those will turn out. What else is on my list? Let me grab my list. I also have some soup that I started making the broth for. I cooked the beef, was it beef? Beef ribs, I think they were, all night to get like a good broth. And then I put that broth in the fridge because there's a lot of fat and like meat on them. And so I want to skim off some of that fat because I don't want all of that in my soup. So I put that in the refrigerator, so I need to finish that later on today. We went peach picking, I don't know if you can see my basket right there, Saturday. And a lot of the peaches weren't really ripe yet. And so for eating, I don't think they're going to taste that good, but I want to can them in like a syrup. I did that last year and they were so good. So again, I don't know if I'll get to all of this today, but that's just on my list of things to do. I also have some ground chicken in the fridge that I need to do something with so it doesn't go bad. Yeah, I just have a lot of little things and I feel like both of my fridges are packed and I want to go through some of that food, preserve it, or, cook it up just so it doesn't go bad because that'd be such a waste. But yeah, we'll see what we get to today. But my first thing is I want to try doing these muffins, and that'll be one thing off of my list and I'll feel accomplished. So I have the bananas defrosting and I'm going to go ahead, double the recipe. I made myself a little sticky note. I went through and kind of wrote out double portions just so I don't forget as I'm making it, and hope they turn out. So I thought I'd take you along and let's see how productive we can be. It is already 1:37 in the afternoon, so we'll see what we can get done today. I'm going to start off by preheating my oven, even though that warms up pretty fast, but let's just get that out of the way. And then combining all of my dry ingredients. Put them all out here just so it's easier. So I need 3 cups of flour. Baking soda. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I'm going to just put it in my hand and kind of crumple it up so there's no chunks. Two teaspoons baking powder. teaspoon of salt. I need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm going to set that aside and move on to the wet ingredients. These are frozen. Hopefully they're a little bit softer. Just going to mash these bananas. I need 6 bananas, so right now I have 3 in here. 3 more. I'm going to leave that to defrost a little bit more. It's a little hard to mash. I'll come back to that. I'll add the rest of the ingredients. This, we need bananas, sugar. We need 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I never measure my vanilla. I just always add a little extra because it's delicious. We need 2 eggs. Crack them separately. The recipe calls for canola oil. I don't use canola oil in my home. I only have avocado oil or olive oil, but I'll be using avocado. So I've done this recipe so many times with the avocado oil and it's come out just fine. And 2/3 cup of oil. Let's see if we can mash these now. Alright, good enough. I could use my KitchenAid. That would probably be a better, smarter decision, but oh well. Okay. Now we're gonna mix it all together. I'm going to spray this. I also have like a spray avocado oil. Normally I would use like muffin liners or cupcake liners for like when I make the bigger ones. But for these I don't have any, so I'm just going to try spraying them and see how that comes out. And if I have a hard time with the first batch, then I have to either order some or run out to the store and buy some liners. But we'll see what happens. Hope for the best. I'm just going to use my little like cookie scooper and scoop right in there. And I'm going to have to guess on the cook time or bake time because I normally make the big ones and I follow the recipe. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to keep checking on them and see. These normally, the regular size, I'd bake for about 18 to 22 minutes, but I'm going to set these, I'm going to do maybe 10 and see how they do, and then just keep increasing if I need to, and just keep an eye on them. Okay, just hope those two work out. I'm not going to get started on the other batches quite yet. I mean, I still have some in here that'll probably take 2 more pans at least, I think. And I want to see how those will do, like the mini size. If I have a hard time getting them out, maybe I'll just go ahead and do the bigger muffins. We'll see. So I'm not going to get started on the 2nd or 3rd batch quite yet. I'm trying to think what I should do right now. I do need to make like the soup and then use up my ground chicken. I want to make like, I bought these raw tortillas and I want to put the ground chicken inside and kind of fry them in there. But I don't really want to do that while I'm baking because I feel like the onion smell is going to get on the food. But maybe what I can do is start chopping the onions and grate the carrots because I'll need that for my soup and for those chicken like tortilla things that I want to do. So maybe that's what I'll do, and I won't fry it yet or saute it yet. We'll see, but let's get started on that. Our timer's going off. My toothpick. Oh, they're cute. Let's see. I don't think they're done. Yeah, definitely not done. I'm just going to rotate them. Let's do about 3 more minutes. Ta-da! Let's go back here and see what this is looking like. Ooh, they're a little crispy. Oh, twisty. Those are cute. Okay, that feels a little bit better. They're not as soft. I'm going to try taking them out. Ideally, I'd want them to sit for a little bit, but I do want to get my next batch going. So let's see if I can get them out without messing them up. If they start falling apart, I'll wait a little bit. Okay, not bad. Yay. Let's hope they all turn out like that. This on here so that maybe it cools down a little bit faster, and then I'll transfer them over. Just so, yeah, I'm gonna let them sit just for a little bit. It's been a few minutes and I've tried taking a few out. And what I'm doing is kind of trying to twist them instead of just pulling them straight out. This way they don't break apart. There you go. There you go. Ta-da! All right, on to the next batch. Cute. So I'm going to do the same thing and let those cool for a minute or two, and then I'll take them out and put them in here. I don't know if you can see, there we go. I covered these up. I want them to cool completely before I store them or put them in Ziploc bags in a freezer. They're kind of cooled off, but I'm just going to give them a few more minutes, but I don't want them to dry out. So I put a light towel over them so they could cool off but not dry out. And then I have my other batch ready to go, and what I'm going to do is start my third batch. So this is my second, or I should say third and fourth, because I have 6 batches total, but I've combined them 2 and 2. So this is my third and fourth batch, you can say. And then I'm going to put all my dry ingredients in that white bowl so I can clean up this mess, and then I'll add the wet ones when I'm ready to when I'm getting closer to baking. I just don't want it to kind of get dry out a little bit. And then I'm going to take care of this mess as well. I like to clean as I go if I can. And so once I get that cleaned up, I'll do the dishes and I'll feel better. And to be honest, I thought this was going to take me a lot longer, but it hasn't been too bad. Those 2 batches that I've mixed together, they made about 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 48. I would say 48 from, I would say about 54 maybe, because I had a little bit of mix left over, or what is it called? Yeah, basically the muffin mix, a little bit left over, and it would make probably about 4 to 6 muffins, I would say, maybe. And so I just combined it with the new batch that I made just to kind of keep things going and not have 5 separate little bowls. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they're coming out. I didn't show it, but I did wash the pan in between, just because there's a little bit of residue left in there, and I didn't want this new batch to stick in there. So instead of being lazy, I decided, it literally took me like a minute to wash it. I washed it, sprayed it again, and so hopefully these will come out as easy as those did. And that really didn't take me as long. I always overcomplicate things, because one batch is basically done, and so I have the second one and third one, and I'll be all done. So I'm excited. I'm going to try taking these out since they've been sitting for a little bit. Let's see what happens. I guess the key is to kind of twist. I'm going to wash this pan and get my other batch going. I have my cooled off muffins. and I'm going to store them in Ziploc bags and then put them in the freezer. They're only going to be in the freezer for about 2 weeks. Our reunion's in like 2 weeks. So I think they'll be just fine in this one bag. If I was freezing them long term, I probably would have double bagged them just to, you know, for them to store better. But again, it's only gonna be 2 weeks, so I think they'll be just fine. So I have 24 here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, okay. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to write that there's 24 in here. I think I could just use this. 24. 168 muffins later, I'm finally done. Feels so good to have that done. I have one more batch that's covered with a towel. I moved it onto my dining table. I'll show you in a second. Just because I'm going to start sauteing like onions and carrots, and I just don't want the smell to get or to seep in. I have washed the dishes. I just have the muffin pan over here drying off. And yeah, I'm going to get started on my soup and saute some onions and carrots and things like that. But I'm so glad to get that done. It just like, I don't know if you guys ever have this when you have like this project or something that's just been weighing on you, and when you're done you're like, oh, that's how I feel right now. Let me show you the muffins. They look so cute. So I have them all in Ziploc bags, and this will be the last bag. They're just under here. They're almost cooled off, but I just want to be safe. First, I think I'm going to add some salt into my broth because I just cooked it yesterday without any salt. It was just water, and I put the bones, like the ribs, in there. And they were just like slowly cooking all night. I skimmed off the fat after I put it in the fridge, so it like solidified. It was easy to take off. I saved some of that fat and I actually put it in the pan. I'll use that to saute the onions and carrots. It'll give it more flavor. And yeah, and then I need to cut up some cabbage, potatoes, beets, to go in the soup. Well, it's not soup, it's called borscht. It's like a beet cabbage soup. It's really good. And we'll see how much we get done. Eddie should be home any minute from work, and I will run out to the grocery store. I'm also making, sorry, I don't know if you could see me, lasagna roll-ups. And I'll be making those ahead of time as well and freezing those in like big pans. So I need to buy the ingredients for those. I'd love to get that done today too. But you never know. Again, if I get that done today, I will feel amazing, because tomorrow t-shirts are coming in. We ordered t-shirts, and so I need to get those sorted and brought to our to the company, or to the guy who's printing them. And so once that is done, I'll feel so much better. Anyway, enough rambling. I need to get to work. I'm just running out of steam because it's raining outside. Well, actually, I think the rain stopped. But I just feel sleepy, but it's okay. We got this. I'm still sipping on my latte, so let's finish, or let's keep going. I think the first thing I'm going to do is chop up the cabbage and potatoes, so this way that can cook the longest, or longer, and then I'll add the rest of this stuff. Normally I would add green cabbage. I do have some, but I don't want to start a new one. Do I have one? Yeah, I think I bought one. Yeah, I did. So I'm just going to use this purple one because why not? It was already, I already had it started. I made coleslaw the other week. I have a bowl for scraps for chickens and a bowl for, what is it called? Compost. Next up we have potatoes. I know I hold my peeler weird, but it's just comfortable like this for me, so that's why I do it that way. Now moving on to onions. So I have a lot of little ones. These are from the garden. These are all the ones that started to go to seed, so I had to pull them all out. So I have a bag in the refrigerator of basically peeled little onions. And so it's a pain, but I'm trying to be good and use and use up everything from the garden and not just let it go to waste. This is a half I had in the refrigerator from something else I was making. And so we're just gonna make it all work. And I'm doing a lot because I need onions and carrots for my soup and for the chicken, what are they called? Quesadilla things or whatever I wanna make. I don't know if you can hear me, but look how cool that water looks. It's purple from the cabbage. I've never used purple cabbage for this soup, but we'll see what happens. I have my beets chopped up right over there. I don't know if you can see. Or not chopped up, I'm sorry, shredded. I'll add that in just a few minutes. I'm going to wait until that softens up a little bit more and take half of it out for the chicken mixture, the chicken quesadillas I'm going to be doing. Actually, they're not quesadillas, they're tortillas, chicken tortillas. I keep saying quesadillas, sorry. I will probably need to add more water into here. I'll just boil some water. I need to season everything really well. I'll add some garlic powder, some of this 21 seasonings, onion salt, and then I'll add some more salt and pepper if I need to. That looks so cool, the purple cabbage. Take half of this mixture out. I'm going to add my beets in here. What I like to do instead of adding some oil to saute it, I will usually get some broth from my soup and pour some in there to give it some liquid and almost like steam it. Now I'm going to take a lid and just cover this and just kind of let it steam a little bit to let it cook through. Moving on to the chicken tortillas, I have some of that carrot and onion mixture sauteed. It's just a little warm. Kind of wanted it to cool off a little bit. I'm going to add the ground chicken in here. An egg. Look at these pretty eggs from my chicken. Love it. Add some salt and pepper. Here too. I'm going to add some more garlic and onion salt just because I tried the onion and carrot mixture and it doesn't, you don't taste it too much, so a little more seasoning never hurt. And then mix it all together. This looks really weird. It normally does not look like this when you have regular cabbage. And I see a little bit more fat floating, so I think some of those ribs cook down even more, which they cook for like, I think 7 or 8 hours, like all night. So I mean, that's great, but the longer you cook them, I guess the more fat comes out. I don't know. They were just, and they were, I got them from a local farmer, so they were like real, like good beef. I would have probably kept this cooking a little bit longer, or sauteing, whoops, but I want to use this pan to fry my chicken tortillas, so I'm just going to put it in here and let it all cook together. And everyone makes this differently. I just kind of go with what I have, and you know, sometimes I make it up as I go and hope for the best. I'm going to add a little bit more hot boiled water, just because it's a little thick. Also going to add some parsley and dill. This is from the garden, just chopped up and frozen. I could go get some fresh dill, but I'm too lazy and I ain't got time for that right now. I like to add a lot of it. Every time I use dill, I think of my mom. I just remember walking into the house and her chopping fresh dill. Just that smell reminds me of my mom. Stir it, cover it, and keep it on low. And just let it cook for a little bit longer. And then once it cooks, I'll taste it again. And if it's good, we'll be ready to eat. If not, I'll just add a little bit more salt or more seasoning. I have everything ready for the tortillas. So in here, I have some olive oil heating up. We're going to fry in that. I have these raw tortillas. You can make your own, do your dough, but I just bought these. It's easier. Use that. I have my chicken mix. I have just a little bit of water. I haven't done these in a while, so I don't exactly remember. But to assemble, I'm just going to add, let me just do one and I'll show you. To assemble, I'm just going to add a spoonful of this mixture. Maybe a little bit more. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. I haven't made these in a while, like I said, so I'm going to try my first one and then maybe it'll come back to me. I like to do like a thin layer and not add too much meat because it cooks faster this way. And I like to taste the shell and not just the meat mixture. And then I'm going to, I have a little bit of water in here. And just get this wet. You could use your finger. I'm just doing that so it sticks better. Fold it in half. And then I have a fork. I'm just going to pinch down the sides so that it holds together. And I'm going to wait for my oil to heat up a little bit more. Get started on the second one. Okay, I think my oil is hot and ready. I just sprinkled some water in there. That's how I usually test my oil. Just put these right in here. And while those are frying, I'm gonna keep going. Actually, you know what? No, I lied. I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to cook those first and see if there's enough salt, just so I don't ruin all of them. I just cut this. I'm going to try it, see if it needs more salt, and then I'll continue on making them. I just put a paper towel on this plate just to soak up the oil. This isn't the healthiest, obviously, and I haven't had these in a long time, but once in a while they're good. That is good, but I will add a little bit more salt. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here just because I'm just going to finish frying those. You've already seen me doing that. The soup or borscht is all finished. I'm about to turn it off. It smells and tastes delicious. And I forgot to turn the camera on, but I took 4 of those raw, they're called actually chibureki. but raw chicken tortillas. And I put them, I put parchment paper in between and then wrapped them in saran wrap and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. So that next time if we need something quick and easy, I could just take it out and fry those up. And we won't eat all of these at one time, you know. So I put some in the freezer. Eddie will probably take some to work tomorrow, but they are really good. Again, they're not the healthiest because they're fried, but they taste really good. You can look at different recipes on Pinterest. Some people do them with ground pork or beef. I did these with ground chicken because that's what I had, and I kind of made up the recipe. I had the ground chicken and egg, salt, pepper, seasoning. What else did I put in there? I think that was it. Oh, no, just kidding. I sauteed some onion and carrot, added that in there, and just some like dill and parsley. But you can kind of make up whatever you want. Really quick and easy. It tastes delicious. Some people like to eat it with sour cream or some kind of sauce. I'm just fine eating them plain. They're really good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for coming along with me. I'm glad we got all of these projects or these things accomplished. It kind of took some things out of my refrigerator that I've been needing to use up just so they won't go bad. And I'm not sure if we'll have time, but I don't think I'll be able to do the lasagna roll-ups tonight. I mean, you never know. Eddie's home. Maybe we'll run to the grocery store once I'm done cooking these. So thank you all so much for coming along to today's video, and I will see you next time.